Welcome, everyone. My name's Stephen Shaw. I'm here at Esperanza Podcast, and I'm here with Sebastian Gomez, and he's going to talk to us about RSA marketing. Welcome, Sebastian. How are you today?
Good, very good, Steven. How are you?
I'm great. And just to let people know, Sebastian is in Brazil at the moment. So it's about 7 p.m. there, and it's 9 a.m. We're filming in Sydney. So we're going well, and we're going to do some translations. So people will be able to see this in Portuguese and English and maybe even Spanish. So Sebastian, before we get into the business, it'd be good to just sort of hear a bit about your background. So you're not originally from Brazil. So it'd be good to just sort of tell a bit about sort of where you're from, what was it like as a kid, and what maybe made you start your own business.
Okay, that's fine. So I'm not actually from Brazil. I'm from Colombia. I used to live in Sydney, as you know.
Yes.
In Sydney. Then I'm going to start from the beginning. So in Colombia, I have a very traditional education. My parents just wanted me to study at school, then university, and then work for someone else. Kind of traditional for everyone. But in my mind, since I was young, not kid, but maybe a teenager or a young adult, I wanted to start my own business. I didn't know what to do.
Yep.
And it is kind of like that for a lot of people. You don't know what to do at the beginning. And then I just finished university. I went to Sydney, study English, and then started to work. And when you are an immigrant, you get these really hard jobs in any place you go. It can be USA, it can be Sydney, it can be Europe. You get these really, really hard jobs. In my case, I used to work in construction. Get tired of that. Then I met my wife in Sydney. She's from Brazil.
Yep.
When my visa finished,
long way to meet a Brazilian.
Yeah,
long
man.
way to meet a Brazilian.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be resilient to, go out of your country, go to another country, just work there. So you gotta be resilient to do these kind of things. Then when my visa finished in Sydney, I came to Brazil right before the COVID. So find a job, it was very hard. I spent 1 year just trying to find a job, studying different things like trading, marketing, like being a trader. But that didn't work out. Just buying and selling stocks, it is pretty hard. It's not as easy as people think it is, and most of the gurus in internet picture this like this very easy lifestyle that you wake up early in the morning and then you just work for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe an hour, and then that's it.
On an island and trade.
Living on an island with your boat, that big mansion, and it is not like that. You gotta spend too many hours in front of the computer just and losing money. Most of the traders.
I think that's a very valid point, because often you see in social media people sell this lifestyle of you go make money quick and it's easy work, only work 4 hours a day. But having been in the finance industry, I know people work some long hours. Even the experts get it wrong. And there's a lot of things that are out of your control. So I completely understand where you're coming from there. And there's been a lot of people that have made mistakes, and that's just experience as well. So nothing to be ashamed of there.
Yeah, I read also a couple of books about people that works in this industry as well, like traders. And they always say in their books like, my first 10 years just lose money, and I
Yeah.
thought I wasn't good enough. And then after 10 years they started to make money. So it is kind of a rough path. Do this, uh, I know some stuff, then I get it into crypto. I think like most of people, during the COVID and things like this. But I also lose a little bit of money as well. And then I just got tired of this. Uh, like most people, I think, they lose money with crypto as well. Also, I think they picture that lifestyle that you can buy crypto for this, and then you just gotta have this amount of money and get rich and things like this. Same with the stocks is not like that.
Yeah,
So
I've got a few friends that have invested in crypto, and I hear from them when it's going well, and then they just disappear for about 12 months, and then they reappear again when the market's up. So I got convinced to do it once, and it took me about a year and a half to just get my money back and sell it again. So it's but anyway, look, that's the difference between what's said on social media to what's actually reality.
yeah, that's true. And then I just got a job in a company here. So I learned in that job how to be like an expert in marketplaces.
Yep.
So the company that I work for, their client is Alibaba.com. Um, so I learned how to Alibaba operates and marketplaces operates and how people can do business overseas and export and things like this. So we support companies in Brazil to do that.
Yep.
And I have been since the beginning in the project, though I always wanted to have my own things, and the salary is not as I expected to be. Uh, and things change very fast. Recently, like almost a year and a half, I have a daughter right now.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
things change. Things
Absolutely.
change very fast.
I've got a young one, which and yeah, life is very different when it's not just about you.
Yeah, you gotta do something. My wife lost her job as well, so it was just with my salary we couldn't support everything we need. And when you are out of your comfort zone, you get like obligated to do something. In the
Yep.
past, a few years back, we were like kind of comfortable,
Yep.
and we were like, okay, so you don't feel that pressure to do something else. You just stay the same.
Yeah. Well, they
But
say pressure makes diamonds. So
yeah,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So when she lost her job, my mind just started to, think every day what I'm going to do. Because diapers comes every day. You gotta buy it. There's nothing to do.
Many
So
diapers.
many diapers. And then we started our own company. So it is called RSA. It is a marketing company, and we offer services as social media strategies, also marketing ads like Google and Meta ads,
Yep.
and also automations, right? Which is like I think the newest thing in the market, since AI started. I think that integration with businesses and AI become very important nowadays, uh, and it is also a new thing. So companies are starting to understand that they need to do that in order to become more efficient, and and I stay in business, because things are changing very fast.
So, Sebastian, just quickly, if you could talk to us about AI, because a lot of people have heard the term. It's sort of
mm,
common conversation at the moment, but to me, it seems a lot of people just don't know how to actually use it and what it can be used for. I mean, you see people creating Freddie Mercury singing some other voice, and a few things like that, but it's really, it can definitely improve efficiency. It can make life easier. It can make you a lot
yeah.
more faster. So maybe if you could sort of tell us some of the things it can be used for, and the viewers have a better understanding of why it's so important.
Oh, it can be used for everything actually. So people use AI nowadays. Most people use AI nowadays just to play with,
Mm-hmm.
create some images, add some stuff to ChatGPT, for example. But there is also a way to integrate that in your business. For example, most businesses get a lot of messages in your inbox, like in WhatsApp or Instagram. There is no possible way that you can answer all these messages. So, and before there was a way to do that, that were those agents that you create like a chat bot where you
Mm-hmm.
just press a button, press these options, and goes the flow, But now you can integrate that with AI. So it can actually be like a kind of chat bot that it can answer anything you want, right? And it can do any task you want. It can be, for example, just to for selling, for example. You get a message in WhatsApp, and the chatbot is going to create a conversation until it's going to sell your product to that client. So
Yeah.
actually, you need to do that anymore. You need to be in every conversation, just talking with everyone, because that is not physically possible nowadays. Uh, Talking about the amount of people that require services or products.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's actually how it works. But you can integrate that with anything in your company. I mean, you can create process as well, automate it. You can create also these kind of conversations. You can integrate that with your CRM, for example. You can integrate that with so you got a lead, start a conversation, you get automatically their name, their email, their phone number, and then you send that to a CRM. Then the chatbot straight away just contact them. You can do that with AI nowadays.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it is actually very interesting that AI is changing the way that we see businesses as well. And some people are worried about, oh, it's going to destroy some jobs, but also it's going to create new possibilities. For example, for me, I didn't know how to do many things that I did in my company at the beginning. For example, the logo, the website, for example, this image that I have here in my background, it just
Yes.
it just AI. I didn't have that skill. I know that a designer, but
Mm-hmm.
actually AI allows me to create those things without paying anyone because I didn't have the money to do that. So it's going to it's going to create a new scenario, I think, with where a lot of people is going to maybe create new businesses, you know. Um, so yeah, that's actually how it works. It can be used for everything.
Yeah. I know. I was testing to see a new tattoo design, and I was like, put this onto an arm and show what it looks like, and it can just do it. So yeah, you can trial it for anything, and I'm sure there's a lot of power with things like that,
Mm,
in and whatever it may be. And you see some of that kind of stuff already with sunglass places where you can actually trial on the sunglasses. AI is just so powerful, and I think it's just you're right. The answer is you can use it for anything. So you just sort of need to be creative with it, but be aware that that's something's worth looking into. You shouldn't try and do anything yourself when you can use AI to create it. So with that technology, tell us a bit more about RSA marketing.
So RSA marketing started like because we needed to improve our lives. I think everyone kind of feel that at the beginning. And when you started a business by yourself, it is kind of like you gotta do everything, you know. So you gotta be the strategist, you gotta be an accountant, you gotta be finance, you gotta be the ones who do the operations, that attend the client. So yeah, the beginning is very hard to do. We are still at the beginning. Actually, we started in July. We created the website. Then we got our first client in October, and then it has been like up and down. We get clients, then another client cannot continue anymore. Then we get another one, and so on. We know that is going to take a little bit of time just to make our way, but we are doing everything that is possible to continue. So yeah, I think every entrepreneur feels that at the beginning.
So what are some of the things that, thinking of someone who may be out there looking to start their own business, what are some of the things you've learned along the way? And if you're going to do it again, is there anything that you think are the key things to focus on?
Maybe you gotta organize first what you are going to offer, right? What is your niche as well?
Yep.
What are your skills as well?
Yep.
And then you also need to pursue that skill. I mean, when I started in automation, I didn't know anything about it. I pay a course, I started a course, and then I started to learn a lot. And can I say that? I was awake for hours, like I was studying until 3, 4 in the morning, most of the days, waking up the next day because I have another job. So 3 in the morning, then wake up 7, 8 to start the other job. So sometimes you are going to feel that you cannot keep up, and your mind trick you, like just don't do it anymore,
Yep.
But then you gotta push yourself, and then you have to organize everything pretty well. And at the beginning, you don't know how to do that, right? But you kind of learn in the process. Also learn where the clients came in,
Yeah.
So yeah, the beginning is like this. So our first client, for example, we didn't have anything about onboarding our clients and things like that. We had to create everything since we got our first client. So maybe organize a little bit before you get your clients, how you are going to do the post sale, how you're going to attend your client after you sell your service, create documents and stuff like that,
Yeah, I think it's a common thing, right? Is everyone sort of wants to get their logo and register their business and ready to go, but working out that target market, as you said, what are your clients? What's important to them? What are the needs you're trying to solve? When you get the client, you want to make sure it's a smooth experience. So having a clear process on how to implement that, and it's not just about getting client, but it's also keeping the client as well. So what are the
Keeping the
processes
client, yes.
of that communication? Because it's a lot easier to keep a client than it is to sort of go out and get a new one as everyone sort of goes through. And I think having a clear business plan, but also being clear, as you said, when you're a business owner, you're taking on so many hats, and you've got to keep refining your skills to be the best in the game. And so you can't be doing everything. As you said, you've got to focus on that, but also be aware there are these other things that are required, but have solutions. And it sounds like AI is a good solution for a lot of these things. So it allows you to focus on being with the clients and just improving your skills and getting better and better at what you do.
Yes, for sure. And you know, something that I learned recently about being an entrepreneur and creating my own business is that the most important thing in your business is sales. That's what you gotta push forward the most, because without clients, you don't have a business. You know,
Yes,
you can be really good in, I don't know, programming, and you can be really good in marketing. You can be really good in whatever you want to do. But if you don't know how to sell that, you don't get clients, you don't get a business. So recently, what I have been focusing on is in learning how to sell my services, which is not easy as well. You know, convince clients to trust you, convince clients that it is hard. It is a hard process, and then it is a task that you gotta do every day, like contacting clients, send a message, send a voice message, maybe call as well, send an email every day, doing follow-ups. Even though you have many other things to do in your business, like keep learning about AI, which is the skill that takes the most amount of time for me, because I'm still in the learning process. You know, I can build things for companies, but there are many things to do. But the most important thing that you have to focus on is sales. So actually, I bought a book recently about the spin selling. Also listen the audiobook as well. When I'm working out here at home, I'm just listening the audiobook as well. Just learning how to do it, man, because sometimes you think you speak well, and you can speak well, you can be eloquent and things like this, you know. But there is a process that you need to follow, you know. There is a method that you need to follow as well in everything you do, and sales is the same, you know. There is psychology behind that, and you gotta play with that with your client as well.
And that's a really good book for people that don't know. Spin Selling, it sounds like it's a sales book, but when you actually read it, it's very much about understanding what's valuable for the client, how do you assess their needs, and in the purchase, the more people are, it's really important to make sure you're satisfying that need. So if people get out there and just buy coffee, if it's a bad coffee, they don't go back to that coffee shop, but it may only cost you $5. But if someone wants to spend $100,000 on something, they're going to ask more and more questions. And good thing about sort of as the business grows, you've got clients that do the selling for you, because they become the testimonials. They're the ones that have actually tried and tested the product and had a great experience. So that's sort of definitely, I think, whilst you're right, the activity is so important to continue to have the success, because you need that revenue, and people don't talk about how much activity you really need to do, but also that success of trusting is coming through the clients as well. So yeah, look, it's and I really appreciate you being sort of candid about that. I think that's sort of very helpful for people that are going through it. It can be a lonely time being a business owner, I think
It
that's
can, yeah, it is.
yeah.
Actually,
So,
it is.
and it's very hard to communicate to people that aren't a business owner because they just, they've got that comfort of a salary coming through as well. So, look, it's definitely something I can relate to, and I'm sure so can the audience as well. So
You say something really, really truthful about being an entrepreneur. That is like it is kind of lonely as well,
yeah,
and then you also listen negative stuff about people that you know that are your friends, and maybe they tell you that it's just really hard to do, and it's like don't do it, keep your job, or just keep doing the same, and you are like, man, but why are you doing that? I just give me some these negative thoughts that I don't need to listen. uh, so you
yeah,
just gotta like find a way to not don't listen that and just keep doing, because it it you know you feel lonely doing this, you know, it's also many hours that you gotta put the effort, so many in many situations we were like we haven't been out home since a month, 2 months, you know, straight, uh, not seeing people because we need to do that. We need to like study every day, just waking up early and then going late at night, you know. So yeah, you feel kind of lonely as well. And I think being also an entrepreneur and when you sell your products or services, it is like, and you learn that in the book, in the spin selling, it is like ask the right questions, you know, how
yes,
to ask the right questions at the right moment in the meeting, you know, and prepare before. Don't go in a meeting without anything, because it is hard to process all the information and it is hard to think about the questions while you are in the meeting, you know. So always prepare everything in advance. Then you go in a meeting, then you already have your questions, right, prepared. And it also teach you as well which kind of questions you gotta focus on the most,
yeah.
right? Um,
It's some great points because, and you know, people can say you can learn this while you're working in a sales job with a company, but until you really need to sort of do your next kill to, as I say, basically to survive, you really understand how much you need to refine these skills. And
mhm,
that thing, as far as sort of the preparation before the meeting, people don't do that because you're trying to undercover a need, but you can get on people's LinkedIn, you can get on their social media, you can see what they're interested in, you can find out a lot about someone just through those free things. And I think people value it. If someone is a celebrity or well known for something, they kind of expect that you know that. And I find that a lot in the finance industry, that people would have liked you to professionally stalk them. They want you. They want. They don't want to have to explain something that you should already know. So
yeah,
those are very important. And it's the P's, preparation prevents piss poor performance.
yeah,
So you're definitely speaking things that I relate to. And the other thing, I'm glad you sort of brought up that negativity, because it's something I think every business owner goes through. People think they're trying to help, but you have 60,000 thoughts a day, I read, and
mm,
45,000 are negative. So being positive, you're not going to be that positive anyway. You're naturally going to be negative, because that's a survival mechanism. It's telling you not to cross the road. That's why it's sort of you think about that negativity. But having extra people around you, it doesn't make you perform better. It just gives you something else to think about. So choosing the right sort of circle is really important with starting a business. And Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think everyone I speak to who's run their own business goes through the same thing. That people are just sort of out there to tell you it's not going to work out, and there is an element of jealousy. Yeah, because what is worse than trying and failing is not trying at all. These people have got
Yes, that's true.
their life, their life is set, that they are not happy with their current role, but they're too scared to try something different, and that's why they'll continue to sort of be like that. And I think it flows onto your entire life. If you're trying to create a great life for yourself, these things are something you've got to do, and you will get better and better with these things, as you already seen. There was time not long ago you didn't know how to do any of this. Now you're really proficient, when probably know more than most people out there. So you can definitely add value in getting clients. So I just encourage you to keep doing it. And appreciate you sort of sharing that, because I think a lot of people that are entrepreneurs relate. So let's jump into your business website. So I've got it up here. You can see that fine.
All right, so that's RSA website. So it is pretty simple. It's just one page website, but I think it helps people to understand what our business is focused on, and I think it's helping businesses to get in the next level, getting more sales, get more visibility in social media and things like this, and also integrate that with AI. So I think these three services that we offer are very integrated, because you have social media strategy, and then you started with traffic management, which is the marketing ads, where you pay to show up your business to the world. It can be Instagram, it can be Facebook, it can be also Google, it can be TikTok as well. And then with automation, you kind of close up the cycle when you have automation integrated in all this part of your business. So when a lead came in, you create a marketing ad, then the automation is going to start the conversation with that client. So I think that's why we thought those three services in marketing will work out pretty well, because we feel also that it complement each other.
So some of the clients you've worked with, without sort of giving too much away, sort of how the some of the things, maybe what was their experience before they started working with you, and how did you sort of help them to do these things? Because I think people hear things like Google AdWords and all that kind of stuff, but they don't really understand. They just say it's going to be a lot of cost, and they don't necessarily understand how it's going to be successful, and it's a bit of trial and error. So what would some of the things you'd be able to help someone with?
So, for example, our first client was like holistic therapy. So she does this kind of service where she read the cards, and this kind of therapy sessions. She didn't sell as much as she wanted to do. Then we started the process to create the ads in the internet. Like we started in Instagram, in her social media. Then in the first day, she made her first sale with us.
Wow, one day. So
one day, yeah. In a few hours, actually. And she kept going with us for the first 4 months. Unfortunately, she opened a physical store, so she put a lot of money on this, and she tell us that she couldn't continue doing that job with us. She will come back in a few months, maybe. But yeah, we actually improve the amount of times that she appear for people, like the impressions, the
Yeah.
impressions is the amount of time that your ad is going to show up to people in social media, for example, or in Google as well. Uh, so if you increase that, you got the funnel,
Mhm.
the sales funnel, then you got the impressions, then you got the clicks, then you got the sales, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, so you gotta build up the top part of your funnel in order to create the middle and the top and the bottom. Sorry. So we sort of do that for her. Uh, so she was very happy with us actually,
Yeah.
because she could open her physical store because she get more revenue with us. Uh, obviously, it is not easy as well. You gotta put work into it. You gotta create content in social media. For example, it isn't just like I'm going to create an ad. No, it is not
Yeah.
like that. We create, for example, all the strategy in the business manager in Meta, for example, but she created the videos that she wanted to post.
Yeah.
So it's sort of that you need some other skills in order to do that as well. It isn't just I'm just going to create an ad. No, you just
Yeah,
gotta.
and this is the thing, right? It's just coming back to your point around having a clear target market.
Mm,
If you're not clear about that and you haven't done the work, it's going to be very hard to create the content for that target market because you don't know what you're trying to create attention of. So I think that's just this is where all that stuff flows through. So
mhm.
even when you're engaging someone else's services to get more impressions, if you can't give a clear target market, it's not going to work, and it's becomes just like a shotgun approach. You're just trying a little bit of everything, and what you're trying to do is create a laser focus, saying we're trying to attract these type of clients. But it's a collaboration where you need the business owner can't just outsource
Yes,
it. They need to use your services to help them, but ultimately they know what the client needs, and you've got to again
exactly.
got to work to provide the content as well.
And we could create the traffic to get into their funnel, you know.
Yeah,
Uh, but then where they were the closers. I mean, the contact text them in WhatsApp, for example, but she was the one that ultimately had to close the client. And I
yeah,
told her that since the beginning, I'm going to bring the traffic to you,
yeah,
but the most effort that you gotta do is close those clients. So you gotta be in your phone, um, attending the client as well. You know, it isn't just that just create an ad and the clients are going to buy my product. No, it isn't like that. You gotta create trust as well for your clients that you know what you're talking about, and when you don't sell a physical product, when you sell a service, for example, you gotta maintain certain level of can I say an approach that you gotta attend your clients very well in order to sell that and keeping the clients as well.
yeah. But I think the important point around that is if you can outsource to someone like yourself to create more leads, then you can focus and provide a good meeting.
Yes,
Whereas if you're trying to do everything and you're tired, it's going to be very hard to present well and close that sale. But the success here is that you've actually created a lot more leads. So
mm,
sometimes it is a numbers game as well. So if you're creating a lot more leads, you've got a lot more opportunities to sell as well. And yeah, look, what I liked about that sort of example as well is you helped them to have a success and go start their own shop. But there is the best way to trial a product is actually to sort of start working with someone like yourself. But there's an option that some people will need it for a short term to create it, but you can come back as well. So I think for anyone's out there that's looking this type of service, that's a good value proposition for you, that people can come in and test it. They might have good experience and tell others, but they don't need to be sort of locked into something long term. And it's the best way to develop trust is actually to start working with you.
Yeah, definitely. And when you're a business owner, you have many things to worry about, and you cannot know anything. You cannot know everything, And you sort of like when you start a business, you sort of feel that you need to know everything about your business, but your business maybe is not putting more leads in your company. Your business is giving the service to the people, in case of that client, the holistic therapy. She knows how to attend the clients, but she didn't know how to bring more leads. That's when you can outsource that skill with someone else like us, and I think that's the need for most of entrepreneurs. You cannot know everything about every part of the business. Otherwise, you're gonna feel like you have to learn too many skills, and you don't have the time to do that. When you talk to people and they relate where the thing with the things that you say to them, they say that too. I just don't have the time to learn about how to create meta ads or Google ads, how to bring more leads. I don't know. I don't have the time to do that. So why don't source that skill with someone that already studied that for many, many months and years, and already have experience with that, already have experience with sellings and things like this. So yeah, I think that's the best way to do businesses. Just sort of like find a collaboration with someone else that have a different skill than you, because you cannot know everything about your business.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the power of this as well is, I talked about I'm in Sydney and you're in Brazil. I could be asleep and outsource to someone like yourself who's working while I'm asleep, and you wake up and there's a whole lot of leads ready to go. So that's kind of the best way, is if you can have a team working 24/7 for you, and you're just focusing on closing those leads. So look, I think that's a great summary of the business. It's good to get on the website. For those that don't know, rsamkt.com, RSA marketing, so rsamkt.com. And just to finish off, tell us a bit about what you're doing when you're not with a business. I saw you you like to hit the bag, a bit of boxing. So what keeps you busy outside?
Yeah, I'm actually not doing boxing right now, but I'm working out here at home. I just don't have that sort of time just to go to the gym, come back, and take care of everything. 2 jobs is already too tired. So I wake up early in the morning. I do some sort of calisthenic workout at home. And then I just jump into work straight away. And yeah, I mean, that's how I keep my mind a little bit sane, because if you just work and don't do anything else that you like, you gotta sort of start to accumulate the stress, and that's just not good for you. So you gotta find balance, even though when you are starting a business, you have many things to do, and maybe you feel some kind of overwhelm, but you gotta find something that release all that kind of stress. I would like to come back to boxing. Definitely, I'm going to come back. I'm just waiting until we reach point that we already set up,
Yep.
in RSA, that when we feel comfortable, uh, I will quit the job that I have
Hmm.
nowadays in that company, and we are just going to focus on in RSA, uh, because that's our main goal. Just focus in our business, and I think every entrepreneur and business owner has to do that. Just find the right moment to uh, jump into it 100%. Even though we already are 100% in this business, but I have to manage as well the other job that I have. So
Yep.
I keep going late uh, at night, just studying and you know doing the things that I need to do just to keep going.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a great point. I was just going to say on the exercise, and having that balance. I mean, this is why it is. It's not just about the cost of outsourcing. It's what you're giving up. You can get to a point where if you're only working, that it'll eventually catch up with you. That regular exercise, there's a lot of evidence that it helps with stress as well. But
mm,
physically, you want to keep going as well, and having some time to go, spend time with your kid, and all that kind of thing is.
mm,
You can't put a price on that, and but you have solutions to outsource. Your best to be focusing on what you do best, and doing more of that over time. But outsourcing allows you to do that because you can be seeing more and more people. You're creating more and more
yes.
activity with a service like this, that you can do that. And then when you're not, you can switch off and recharge those batteries through exercise and spending time with your family.
Yeah, definitely. And outsourcing, I think, is the best way to uh, keep in your business because, as I say before, you cannot do everything. So you gotta find someone else. It is like hire someone for your business. You know, you gotta find the right person to do the task that you need them to do.
Yep.
Maybe it is more cost effective just hire another business owner or another company to do that job that actually hires someone inside your company. I mean, we are cheaper than paying a salary for a person inside your company to do the same job, because you gotta pay taxes for that person. In Brazil it's called carteira assinada, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you actually have a contract with that company. Uh, but then the cost of that employee is going to be almost double of you pay them. So, for example, you pay the salary of 5,000 reais, for example.
Yep.
You're gonna end up paying almost 10,000. So it is almost double. We are cheaper than that because they pay a little bit of taxes every time that we create some sort of we call it here nota fiscal. That
Mm-hmm.
is a paper that you, you show to the government that you're paying something, but it is cheaper than hire someone. So I
Yeah.
think that's the best way to reduce the amount of money that you spend in your company and also find a good solution, cost effective, and more qualified people to do that job. You know,
Yeah, and I think just to add to that, for those people that in Australia that are looking to outsource, the currency exchange makes this
make it
cost effective.
easy. Yeah.
So, yeah, the currency hires is it's about 4 to 1. So, $1 Australian would buy $4 for hires. So, yeah, look, it's a definitely an efficient way to do things, and you've had an opportunity to sort of meet with you and see what you're about. So I encourage people to sort of.
And bro, I gotta thank you because last time that we see each other here in Brazil, we have that conversation about starting also in my social media, like
Yeah.
creating content. And I told you that I was a little bit of a scared. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if my skills were good enough. And
Hmm.
I also have to thank my wife because she pressured me to do that as well.
Yeah.
So there was one night here that we were working, and she asked me, "When are you going to do that?" And I
Yeah.
was like, "I don't know." And she asked me, "What is stopping you?" And I was like, "I don't know. I think I'm afraid." And she
Yeah.
just grabbed the cell phone, put it in front of me, and just hit recording, and that's it. And with time, you gotta sort of feel more comfortable doing that, and you gotta create content. You
Yeah.
know, you gotta show yourself to people that you have an skill to show to people that it works. And some people in social media start to ask about what I know in AI. Uh, so yeah, man, it's just improving from that point of time where we have that conversation. Uh, you told me, bro, you just gotta do it. You,
Yeah.
you don't start.
Yeah. I think I use the quote ready, fire, aim. So yeah, if you start, I always like that philosophy. If you start to aim, you think about it, and then you talk yourself out of
Mm,
it. So just but you can see, having done it, that it's valuable. Yeah, you started doing content, and people making inquiries,
yeah,
and to your point, you get better by doing these things.
yeah,
So
better.
the more comfortable you got, and yeah, I congratulate you on sort of taking that, and your wife sort of pushing you as well. But for anyone as a business owner out there, you can see that these things, everyone does have the natural fear. Yeah, but sometimes it's that action that gives you confidence once you start doing it. So yeah, well done.
Yeah, man, thank you because I think that conversation pushed me to do that as well, and also my wife pushed me to do that. But I was sort of scared to start, and I think for most people, getting in front of the camera is kind of a strange feeling, and maybe you feel that you don't know enough about what you already know, which is already enough. In any market, competition, it is like this. There is always people that know more than you, but
Hmm.
always people that don't know anything about what you offer, and
Yeah,
they.
I think to that point, and I found this for my professions, is so much more than you ever use, but that's not what's important. What's important is understanding what's the needs of the clients and
Mhm.
meeting that. And that's those things over time you get reassurance. You go, I can do that so easily. And the more I just do less of telling people what I know and more listening and understanding what the needs are, as we've talked about that spin selling as well. You realize that just clients have a great experience, and they'll keep coming, and they'll bring others as well.
Definitely, man, for
Yeah.
sure.
All right, mate. Well, look, thank you so much for your time. Yeah, well, I think that is very educational, and definitely encourage people out there to contact you and test the services, and yeah, we get some great responses, as you've seen with the existing clients. So yeah, thanks again, and have a great day.
Oh, bro, thank you for the opportunity to be in your podcast. I think that's also a great opportunity to show people your skills, your business as well, and maybe some clients are going to come from Sydney and hire us. I expect that. But thank you for your time, and I think these kind of platforms and opportunities to talk with people about business and what you do and know you. I think that's a really great experience.
Yeah, and that's what, and yeah, look, I mean, just quickly on that, it's something I don't charge for, but I just it's taking that first step and being comfortable with going on this podcast and sharing your story. And yeah, I'm sure by people doing this and more of these type of contents, they'll be successful in business.
For sure, man. Thank you so much. And next time, I don't know, but maybe next time we can go to Sydney if things go well, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm just going to stop recording, man. So stop.